Tim. That's the reason why Tim Pool wears it too.
It was a compliment, by the way. Continue what you were saying. I apologize.
Yeah,
No,
you like Tim Pool? That's gross.
Is there any like pro-lifers that want to run an ARG?
No wonder he's going to Christian Chan.
Yeah, I love life personally.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of being alive.
Yeah, we hate abortion. We hate it.
Can I critique that? Jovo?
Sure.
Okay, so you love life. Life has the right to life, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, doctors that pull the plug on brain dead patients, they're murderers?
Yeah, probably.
Space.
Okay. All right, are you vegan?
No.
Okay, so you think that a human carcass has more value than a cow?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in Catholicism, euthanasia is a sin. You have to let them die naturally.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You're a Catholic. Okay.
No, I didn't say I was a Catholic, but I'm just saying in that way of thinking.
All right. Yo, so Jovo, do you like value all human life identically?
Sorry, say it again. I'm sorry, you cut out.
Do you like attribute the same amount of value to all human lives?
Yeah. That seems like a reasonable position.
Okay, and like unjust killing of a human, that's murder, right?
I think that's like definitionally, right?
Yeah. Should murderers go to jail?
It could be manslaughter.
All right. Sounds good. So if if a woman with an IUD kills a zygote by not allowing it to implant into that uterine lining, that's the unjust termination of a human life. And apparently, you value all human lives the same, meaning that that's just as wrong as putting a gun to the back of my head. Meaning she's a murderer that should be in jail, right?
That sounds like a reasonable position. Yeah, I feel like you're just saying like you believe this, and I'm like, yeah.
Wait. Would you save one person to and kill 10, or save 10 people and kill one?
Save one person or kill 10.
It's the lever problem.
Wait, hold on. Can you be more specific? Hold on. Are you saying all else being equal? Because obviously I would, save 10. Like in a burning building. Or
yeah. Burning building, save 1 to kill 10, or save 10 to kill 1.
I don't know if I really like the way because like if I'm leaving one person to die, is that the same thing as me killing them? If that's how you think, then sure. Like I'll be like a burning building situation, sure. If the question is next is like 10 petri dishes or one person, the answer is 10 petri dishes.
So yeah,
you have to save 10 people. It's just logical.
Who are you gonna save? Who are you gonna save? Me or 10 zygotes?
Yeah, that's what I just said. 10 zygotes.
Wait, you can't choose to not do anything at all.
Jesus
you can't
Christ.
choose for both of you to die. Wait, you can't. That's not a choice. You can't choose to not do anything.
No. I mean, listen, like just let him have his hypothetical, right? Like I don't understand why.
That's 10 future presidents, bro.
Yeah, the most genuine debater I've ever.
I'm not being ungenuine. I really hope. I hope you don't think I'm like trying to debate you. These are just like my genuine beliefs. I'm sorry.
Well, so wait. So do you think that there's like a medical genocide in like every single developed country on the planet because of the tens of thousands?
Is, like typically, I don't think it's like targeted, right? Like
Oh, it is. Wait. Doctors actively target and intentionally pull the plug on brain dead patients.
Oh, if that's what you meant, I thought you meant like usually like people like independently come to an abortion. But if you're saying that like there's like this panel of doctors who are like we need to kill all of these brain dead people, then yeah, sure, it's a genocide. Sure. What about it?
Okay, so this is just how you feel.
Yeah, genuinely. Like I don't know. Like,
what is it to you? Is it like the human life? Is it the species plus life?
Yeah, I guess like life. It seems like I'm able to have some sort of relationship. I'm able to relate to other people.
Can you relate to a fetus?
You aren't. I'm not saying you aren't, but I'm saying I think the ability to relate ought to have some normative power behind it.
Okay,
so,
can you relate to a zygote?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, we all were zygotes at one point, so we actually can, Loki.
Do we all believe in life at conception? Is that the thing here?
Like all of us were once zygotes.
Yeah, more specifically in the sense of I'm sure, like, if you've argued a bunch about abortion, right? You've probably heard like the future like ours thing.
Big flow guy. Big flow guy.
I'm sorry.
Big flow guy.
This is just like I'm just copy pasting Darn Marquis' argument, right? The very fact that they can have a future like ours seems to suggest that we ought to value them, right? It has some like normative content behind it. That's it.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Would you prefer for a cat to be like skinned alive, or for a baby human to be like Like just that they were laughing and now they're kind of like disgruntled.
Or what?
Are you asking me or are you asking Dean?
You.
A cat to be skinned alive or a baby to be disgruntled.
Okay, that might be hyperbolic. Okay, a cat to just be like hit or something, right? Like a cat to be hit. Or
Okay,
like
a
a baby to be like disgruntled instead of like happy or something from like their lollipop being taken away or some shit.
It's not immediately clear to me why like a constant state of happiness is preferable. So I guess
I'm just kind of like trying to
I'd
draw on
prefer-
your like moral scale a little bit.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. The reason why I say this is like I'm not trying to like get out of the hypothetical or anything. What I'm trying to say is like the answer to this question probably isn't indicative of what you think it is. Because if I say that I prefer that the cat isn't, skinned alive or whatever, or sorry, isn't hit, the reason for that isn't necessarily because I value the cat. It's more so because I don't necessarily think unhappiness towards the kid is like this inherent negative thing, right? So it's just like, Dean, if I may ask you, and this isn't like a debate bro question. I'm genuinely curious. The reason why I think like murder or killing, let's say killing, the reason why I think killing when it's wrong is wrong to the individual because it deprives them of a future like ours, right?
So then why do you value brain dead patients? They don't have a future like ours.
Yeah, but the
okay,
thing,
because
he could be a miracle. That's what he's trying to allude to. It's possible like a
no,
miracle could
not
happen
even
or
that. Like
something.
I think like that's a fair enough point, right? Like if I'm completely brain dead and I have no ability to relate to other things, you might say that I have no future. But I guess like a brain dead person, is it not true that they can appreciate like love around them? I think they
It
can.
is. It's not true. It's not
Oh,
true.
if it's not true, then yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, then yeah.
Yeah, who was that lady? That was like a big deal in the
So-
90s that her parents wanted to kill her and her husband wanted to keep her alive or something like that. Like,
Also, if somebody quote unquote like comes back from brain death, it just means that they were never brain dead because the like definitionally speaking, brain death implies a lack of an ability to come back because it's the complete and permanent cessation of cognitive
you're a
function.
vegetable,
Okay.
right?
Then
Yeah.
definitionally, I was just confused. Definitionally, I was just confused
So-
as to what you meant, which I apologize. In which case,
No
I'll
worries,
just
no
say
worries.
that yeah, you should be able to.
Wait,
pull the plug
Jovo,
out.
what do you value? What do you value then? Like, what is it that you value?
Well,
he
hold
values
on,
a fly.
if I
That's
could
not
answer my question-
accurate. Hold on. The
If I
brain
could
death
just-
thing wasn't accurate.
That
It doesn't
was
matter.
So
It
you
doesn't
don't
matter.
like
It
brain
really
death?
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Empiric, it doesn't matter. Like because the answer to the question is, do they have a future like ours? Yes. Okay. Well, then don't pull it. No. Okay.
Wait.
Then
Wait, so
if
Jovo,
they-
you just value. Hold on, you just value the potentiality of some material composition. Is that
Well,
like?
actually,
what
no,
you're
because the
saying?
future like ours is the present
technicality.
trait.
Just really
Yeah, the
quickly,
future like ours is
can I
the
just ask
present
the
trait.
question? Can I just ask the question? Dean, why is killing wrong to you? That's it. That's all I was trying to ask. Sorry.
Of course, killing is wrong to me, as I believe it is a rights violation.
Oh, like I have a right to what? Sorry.
Right to life.
Okay, that's fair. I think okay. So and then you're gonna say something like rights are only given to people who have XYZ attributes, like maybe they're conscious or something like that, or what? Sorry.
Yeah.
Viable.
Okay. Okay. I guess that's interesting. So you think that like it's wrong to the person itself. You don't think it's wrong because I don't know, their family's gonna be sad, right?
Well, so I think it's wrong because it's a rights violation of the person. Now, like there's like what external value that you could apply onto a person, onto the murder of a person that can make it quote unquote more wrong, like a grieving family or like a gruesome death. But
A pregnant
I feel
woman
like all
and
that
kids. Yeah.
all that
I mean, you can
external
like kill him
value.
right too if the guy's an asshole.
Yeah,
So-
all of that external value is predicated on just a rights violation. I think that you have the right to life if you have a conjunct between past or present and future consciousness. I find this to be the most morally preferable position due to the lack of terrible reductions. There's a couple issues with flow. A few absurdities, like value in a zygote. B, we have a couple problems here. Like if we were to have a brain dead baby and then a syringe that could bring it back to life magically, because the syringe and the brain dead baby are separate and distinct, you'd be saying because that baby wouldn't have a flow, meaning that it's not wrong to just throw that syringe out the window and stab that brain dead baby in the heart. And that's also something I don't really like.
I guess I'm not convinced that like future like ours position commit us to that, but I suppose
It does.
and I guess we can go through like all the reductions if you want, but a more interesting conversation might be um like about moral harm. So
Mhm.
i- if I'm wrong, essentially, and nobody likes this argument, but I'm just curious as to how you respond. If I'm wrong, right? I've done a
Mhm.
harm, right? I've taken away rights from women, for example,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely a harm. Okay, if you're wrong,
Mhm.
I think genocide is a strong term. You've allowed the killing of.
Just call it genocide. Just call it genocide. You're
Yeah,
good.
yeah, 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 sure. Like just for the simplicity, you've allowed genocide, right?
Mhm.
So when we look at like
Of
these
cows.
when we look at these two positions, we might say, like, out of moral caution, it's
Yeah.
preferable to take my position, even if it ends up being wrong, because
Mhm.
we're like in a state of unknown. It might be
Mhm.
preferable to take my position.
Yeah. So that's a precautionary stance, but I believe that the precautionary stance goes both ways. As you kind of pointed out, if I'm wrong, a violation of like the fetus's right to live. If you're wrong, a violation of the mother's right to bodily autonomy. I believe that both the right to life and the right to bodily autonomy would fall under a category of human rights in which I hold the most value to. And I might even say that I value a fully autonomous woman's right to bodily autonomy more than the right to life, that of a fetus.
Mhm,
So I feel as if the precautionary stance, because it goes both ways, would kind of, in layman's terms, cancel itself out.
mhm.
And that's kind of been the conclusion of my thoughts on that position from the last year or two
Wow, in layman's terms is
of
the way of saying
pondering.
like you're dumb, dude. Like,
Got him.
damn.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think that.
no, I literally just explained
Holy
PIMDOS on a
camera.
precautionary stance, you know.
Mhm.
So
No, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it does go both ways. But like, how do I say this? You've been good faith
Um,
and you've taken my positions at face value, right? If I say I value Zygote, you're not going to be like tell me I'm lying, for example, right? So I hope you don't take this.
do I think that you might be lying? Yes, but keep it consistent. No one's gonna
Yeah,
be like,
for
oh
sure,
my god.
for sure. I just like I hope you don't think I'm accusing you of lying here, but it seems to strain credulity to say that you think that me restraining women in this way is the same would be the exact same like moral travesty as allowing like a genocide daily. That seems I don't know if
Might
I don't
even
know
be
if you
more
think
of a moral travesty.
that's
Yeah, no.
you can take that position
Um,
as well.
Yeah, so the reason I believe that it does have a lot to do with human rights violations in the mother, and which I do find to be downplayed quite frequently. I feel like any other way we were to frame this position, violating somebody's bodily autonomy without good reason is usually looked at in a very bad way. I mean, think kidnapping, think slavery. All of these things are very, very wrong, and we think they're very, very wrong because
Mhm,
it's the infringement of one's bodily autonomy and integrity without good reason. And it's the same category that denying a woman access to abortion and the lack of good reason, i.e., the lack of a right to life of the fetus, would yield. So I
mhm,
do think it's very wrong. I just think we're societalized to think it's not as wrong as it actually is. So I do hold that position. And then also secondarily, I grant the right to life based upon the presence of a conscious experience of sentience, etc. Now, of course, that right's going to be granted to the fetus at 20 weeks, but how much consciousness does a fetus have at 20 weeks? Not that much, so why do I value that fetus just as much as you? As well, the conjunction of a future higher level of consciousness. And I do find, the murder of an entity with a low level of consciousness now, with a high level of consciousness in the future, not as bad compared to the death of an entity with a high level of consciousness now. And kind of in consideration of these facts, let's say that the ability to have any level of sentience starts being expressed at conception. I find that murder either equivalent or not even as bad as a violation of a fully autonomous woman's right to bodily autonomy.
Um. Okay. Yeah. I guess so. Autonomy because I feel as though you're using. Okay, I guess I'll just ask the question. If I, grab your hand, for example, this is obviously a violation of autonomy.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you violate my autonomy.
Yeah, presumably this is not going to be as bad as
kidnapping you.
Yeah, sure, kidnapping or any variety. We're actually going to put this at a pretty low level of like maybe you should. I don't even know if you believe you ought to get arrested for that, right? Like that's not even. It's a pretty low level moral harm, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I'm curious if you could flesh out your views a little bit more as to how you view like certain autonomies to be like these great moral. Because it's not mere autonomy.
To being based off of what he said.
Or the R word. The R word somebody, that should be like a great moral harm.
Well, of course, yeah. But it's not mere personal autonomy, of course, right? Because as we just said, like grabbing somebody's wrist or something, that's not going to be like a great moral travesty.
Well,
it's not merely that.
I do think it is merely that, right? It's just not always going to be as wrong. See, it could like some violating one's right to bodily autonomy could be, worse or better in certain circumstances, predicated on the level of harm caused. And I feel like this principle is like pretty accepted. Like for instance, hate speech is wrong, but I'm gonna find it like significantly worse to like slur a black person and call them the N-word over and over and over again than maybe telling your ex-girlfriend that she looks ugly today. Right.
Sure.
And just because a gradient of how wrong hate speech is doesn't deny that it is the hate speech in which is merely wrong. The hate speech and harm in which it yields.
Well, it's not that. Like, I'm not saying a gradient results in like a debunk of the moral standard. What I'm trying to figure out is like you're saying that there's this. You're saying like this personal autonomy is what is like the wrong maker or the truth maker of it being wrong, right?
I hear what you're saying. It's like the violation of one's bodily autonomy, which I could either argue would implicitly yield necessary harm, and that's what constitutes the right violation, or one could argue that it's not just the violation of one's bodily autonomy, but also how much harm said violation would yield. I think either way, I'd still have a tangible position, and I feel like that kind of just reduced down to semantically how I'd display.
Yeah, I want to ask you, Dean, would you ask for the Roman salute to be banned in America?
Yeah, he just talked about hate speech just now.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with that.
It's illegal to do that in America, but it's not legal to do that where I'm from.
Who cares?
Yeah,
Would you
imprinted on the DOJ. Sorry.
Right, but you're just confusing the conversation. Like, you're talking about legality, not morality. Can you stop confusing the conversation, please?
Oh, so you and him are the only people allowed to speak?
I would just prefer that you...
Can I jump in really quick? I have something relevant to this conversation. I think, tell me if this is stupid. I think morality gets like really, really simple if you just like dumb it down to its base elements. I think what is morally good is what I personally feel is morally good, and the opposite for evil.
To the extent that that's a tenable... Go ahead, my bad.
No, I was just gonna say, then we can't debate anything.
Right, to the extent that that's a tenable position, I'm not able... You are, in principle, unable to be convinced.
And then also, isn't that what, like... Wait, actually... Yo, real quick, isn't that exactly what, like, white supremacists do?
Yeah, I would say that to them, they think what they're doing is good.
Yeah, but you're allowed to do it in America. That's the whole point of the First Amendment. So I'm asking, because that's considered hate speech by a lot of people.
I don't really care about the legality. Legality is just the morality of the state apparatus.
Yeah, he's right, though. Morality is very different than legality. The people that were hiding Anne Frank in their attic were breaking the law, but they were doing what we would object.
I'm just asking him a question, and for some reason, this other guy's getting triggered.
Can you just tell
I want to repeat this. This is really important. Really important.
It's a really dumb question.
The law is just the morality of the state apparatus. That's it. It doesn't mean anything else.
Yo, Javil, listen.
You're not a mod. Argument, though.
You're not a mod. You're not going to moderate this room. Just letting you know.
So, Dane, do you think you can answer my question? Because I know, like, Joshville is angry at me.
Yeah. Ban the Hitler salute.
Okay. I just wanted. That was all I wanted. But he's too angry at me.
I'm not a free speech absolutist. I think that a lot of speech should be banned.
Whoa.
Do you think you think the N-word should also be illegal?
No.
So the Roman salute should be illegal, but the N-word should be okay.
No, both should be illegal.
Dean, what about black people saying the N-word though?
Oh no, it should be legal for black people to say.
But not for white people.
So you want to take away the rights of
this
one Pacific race, basically?
Yeah.
But Dean, you're going to be using literally the exact same principle as like the white supremacists, just like with like inverted races.
No, because they want to take rights away from non-white people, and I want to take rights away from white people.
Dude, do you think that's fascist? Oh, you're doing a joke. You're doing a joke.
Bro, what?
He's doing. Because he's a self-hating white person.
Yeah, Dean, like the white supremacist wants to remove the rights of like one particular race since they think that one is like superior to the other. You're literally just going to be applying the same principle in reverse. You're literally just applying the same principle. Like you want to remove one person's like rights, right? Isn't that like what the Constitution is like meant to protect against? You know what I'm saying? Since all men are created equal, like what is the First Amendment for?
So then get rid of the First Amendment.
Now you're actually
get rid of the First Amendment.
Get rid of the.
Cut it. Get rid of it.
I defended you, Edomite.
Bro, Dean, this is literally the exact same thing that like Nazis in Germany did to like the Jewish people at like the very start.
What?
Like, I don't know how many times I can say this, but like the principle, right, that you're advocating for is the exact same that like a Nazi or that like a white supremacist would use. Literally the same.
No, because I already said they wanted to take it away from non-white people, and I want to take it away.
Bro, that's the same thing, dude. You're using the same principle. You're just changing around the variables. That doesn't make it better.
I'm trolling.
Okay, well, good one, dude. Dude, how about you give like your actual position on the table instead of just like doing this trolling?
No, my views on speech usage, you know, insofar as how it should apply to our legal code are interesting. So I think I can recognize these things as being morally wrong. And honestly, I would be okay with like banning words or banning like actions like the Roman salute if it were to yield the best pragmatic outcome. But I don't think it does. Like
it just increases it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, look at the UK right now. I think like what should exist is like social consequence and social repercussions compared to legal ones, because like from what I could see when legal
the guy that got arrested today at Colombia or whatever, Mahmoud or whatever, for protesting Palestine. Like, what do you think about him getting arrested and possibly being deported? He's like in Louisiana now. Like
America is an evil state, and I wish it ill.
What?
Okay, damn. But
I think that what is happening to Mahmoud is bad.
I don't know. This says I can't talk about America, but we should talk about Palestine. It's pretty hypocritical.
What? No, I think Palestine's great. I want more of Palestine.
No, the other guy, not you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait, you're a self-hating American? You hate your country?
I absolutely fucking... Well, it depends on my mood, honestly. If America does something good, then I'm proud of it. And if America does something evil...
Like, what's your take
That's your
on
preferences.
him being deported?
Good point.
I think deporting good people is bad, and deporting bad people is good.
Wait. So I think that all deportation is wrong. Literally all of it. I don't think that we should deport anybody.
Okay, so what if
about
someone's
violent?
in the country illegally and they're a pedophile and they rape someone? Should they be deported?
No, we should absolutely not deport them, because why would we let a child rapist pedophile roam free in the streets of another country, throw them in American jail?
We're just saying a very true thing, but like, how do you feel?
Oh, you want to throw them in jail instead?
Right, but keep them here, Dean. So that way they can do it in this country legally.
At Colombia, they got.
Yeah, what happens when he gets out?
And is getting kicked out. Like from ICE, even though he has a green card and his green card is being revoked. Like, how do you feel about that?
Bad.
Yeah.
I don't support deportation. I fucking don't. Actually, on one premise, I actually do support deportation of like a violent migrant who gets arrested, undocumented migrant who gets arrested for a crime. Don't deport them now. Throw them in jail. They get out.
Dean, why not just deport them right away, though, if your outcome's just going to stay the same?
Yeah, given that, like, the country in which they would be deported to doesn't have, like proper jail systems.
Yeah, but then you would quite literally be using your tax dollars to house them.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think that's a very, like, small cost for, like, a very good humanitarian outcome.
Wait, you don't want your tax dollars to go against child pedophilia?
Sorry, really quick.
Yeah, for real, you don't want your tax dollars
here's
to
something,
prevent children
here's
getting
something that
raped,
would
you piece of shit?
Here's something.
But like Dean, like don't you think that like when we deport like criminals to like Mexico or like these other countries, like they don't do anything about it, like, or like you think like they just don't have like their own jail system at all for like these people to go to? Like, what do you think would happen to like a rapist or like a PDF if they were to like go like to be handed over to the cartel? You know what I'm saying? This person would probably be killed. They have like prison rules over there. You know what I'm saying? They're not just like let free.
So now it's run by that Jewish lady, and she's really, really cool.
Okay, that's cool, bro. But Dean, like, imagine here. Listen to what I'm saying though. Imagine like a person comes to America, illegally murders someone, is locked up for 9 years. We can either send them to Mexican prison or not have to pay, or just like pay for their housing and sentence, and then send them back to Mexico anyways. Either way, we're just gonna send them back. So why would we pay for like that time of housing? Like that just doesn't make sense to me.
So the implication there is that if he is deported, that he will, like, they will undergo like very like strict consequence, and it will ensure that he does not rape any more children. I'm fine with that. You know, the implication that we want to put these people in the American jail system is more so under the assumption that like our jail system is going to be more reliable than others. But like if we were to have like you know deals worked out with other countries where we can ensure that that's not the case, I'd be fine with deportation then. But like the principle in a nutshell is I'm fine with spending tax dollars to reduce child rape.
Wouldn't the tax dollars, you could just use that to deport them, and then you don't have to deal with it. They're out of the country. It'd be less tax dollars, right?
Well, I mean, they could still rape children that aren't American.
Yeah, but okay, what if you just kill them instead?
Like death penalty for videos?
Okay, Dean. I still disagree with you. Like, I want to push your intuition on this. Like, what do you think about like an opposite case where you have like an American criminal that runs away to like another country and does violent acts, over there? You know what I'm saying? Do you think that like in this case, like we should house our citizen as like a criminal, or should we just like let Mexico take care of them?
Are you asking me something?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I was just asking you, right? Like, do you think I think we can just use like a negative case to like prove this point? If we had like an American PDF, right, who ran away to another country, my intuition is just gonna tell me that like since it's our citizen, it would be more moral for us to like take care of them and for us to house them than like the other country. What do you think about like that?
I'd want the Mexican criminal justice system to handle him if the Mexican criminal justice system was more reliable than the American criminal justice system, and I'd want the American criminal justice system to handle him if the American criminal justice system was more reliable than the Mexican criminal justice system.
I don't think that
the aim of the belief goes to mitigating the future potentiality for more child rape.
Yeah, but like the point of like my question was to like push your moral intuition on like would it be more just, right, for us to take care of like our own citizens and for Mexico to like also do the same.
So assuming that principle, let's just assume that let's just assume that 95% of people that go to Mexican jails escape, all right, and then go on to recommit a crime. Would you be okay with deporting pedophile and undocumented migrants then?
No, but that's just like an absurd hypothetical. It's just not in accordance with reality.
All that hypothetical tells us is that you actually do consider the reliability of the criminal justice systems insofar as if you deem if you deem deportation of violent undocumented migrants to be just or not. Seemingly, you agree with me.
No. Okay, so I think what we're doing here is we're actually conflating pragmatic and moral issues like together. So we might have like similar outcomes in both of our idealized worlds, right? But I don't think that reliability of prisons is like the only thing that matters. For example, like if Switzerland had the most secure prison, I don't think everyone should send their people to Switzerland.
No, you're no longer arguing that my principles are wrong, but you're rather arguing that because these empirics exist that demonstrate the Mexican criminal justice system is reliable, my principle should dictate a deportation. And I'm fine with accepting the conclusion that if the Mexican criminal justice system is just as reliable at housing inmates and keeping them housed as the American criminal justice system, then deportation is warranted.
Yeah.
See, we're no longer disagreeing principally speaking. We're just disagreeing on where that principle
So you are
leads
okay
us.
with some deportation. You literally said earlier that you're not okay with any deportation.
I was clickbaiting you for the YouTube video. I'm sorry, I wasn't actually recording. I'm not recording.
I'm recording.
No.
Hey, just so you know, I was totally epically trolling. I love abortion. I'm not trolling this time, and I was just having a meme debate with you.
What's going on?
Don't own me in a YouTube video. Thank you.
Well, it's going.
I'm just kidding. I'm not actually recording.
I am.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to click.
Nice. I see. But what about? I gotta head off.
Bro, don't be recording, bro.
I gotta head off here soon. But before I do, does anybody disagree with the deportation of undocumented migrants that don't commit violent crimes?
I don't disagree with that, but I actually disagree with like what you were saying on that, and then what you had said previously, because you made it.
What? You disagree with me? You're crazy.
Yo, Dean, I wanted to ask you though, like on the abortion debate, I was wondering where you thought like consciousness actually comes from. Like, do you believe like do you think it comes from like quality experience? Like, since consciousness is like what your entire argument is like based on, right? Do you believe like in a soul, or are you more of like a physicalist without supernatural phenomenon?
Well, it depends on how you define supernatural. If you just define supernatural of immaterial existence, and you define a soul as an immaterial self or immaterial cognitive function, then yes, the existence of a soul would imply the existence of supernatural. But it depends, definitionally speaking, how you define soul.
Yeah, we can just take your definition. Like normally I call it like it's like an immaterial vehicle that holds like awareness and qualia as like a conjunct.
Just an immaterial mind. That's how philosophy of mind typically defines soul. I used to believe in the soul. I used to believe in the immateriality of the mind. I still might. I'm just agnostic now and don't really study philosophy of mind.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I would like to learn more about like your views on dualism, since like I think it's 100% correct, and I think every liberal should be like a dualist. I think like it does amazing thing. I think it justifies trans people, non-binary people. It gives us like a solid foundation for identity. Justifies abortion. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just fun to like think about how a soul, immaterial soul, gives us life. Life in the sense of like personhood, not like biological life. Like I believe like in the P-zombie conceptions.
Yeah, but like
well, if you took away the soul, that'd probably die. They'd like pass out, right?
A soul without a body is a ghost, and I don't. And ghosts, you know.
Spiritual body, right?
Ghosts don't have rights.
Well, I don't think that.
No rights for ghosts.
Depends on what you mean by life. There, like I don't think that under substance dualism, the soul implies like biological life. I think that you could have biological life without a soul, like bacteria and whatnot.
Actually, yeah, there is like an emergent view that's like gaining popularity in philosophy of the mind. It's called like panpsychism. It's the idea that like tables, things like that, all have consciousness, right? But just no brain to hold memory of that consciousness.
Okay, and now you're just arguing for like unicellular consciousness, right?
No, not really. So I'm just more arguing the idea that like consciousness is fundamental to the universe itself. Like even before like particles, we have quantum particles, and even that comes from like, this immaterial wave. And I'm just going to argue that that immaterial wave is consciousness itself.
Bro,
I'm gonna go ahead and head out for the night.
Why would your soul have anything to do with
Dean, it was a pleasure having you. Take care.
Yo, Dean, I sent you like a friend request, bro. If you want to talk more about like philosophy of mind and stuff.